Before we dive in, please like and comment. It truly helps this video reach more amazing viewers like you. The film begins in the house of the Peterson family, and we see the mother, Laura, upset because her son, Caleb, died in the army. She gets surprised by a person named David knocking on her door. David tells her, "I was knowing your son, Caleb, and we were serving together in the army and training together, and we were closest friends." Laura gets happy when she sees him and lets him enter the house. David tells her that he was discharged from the army because an injury came to me, and I stayed several months in the military hospital. So she asks him, "And why you came here?" He tells her, "I and your son were close to each other very much, and I was beside him when he was dying, and he asked me to come check on his family and make sure they are okay. And he asked me also to tell each one of you that he loves you, and I promised him that I will do what he asked me." So Laura gets very affected and cries in her room. When she returns to David, she finds him looking at a picture with the unit, and he has pointed himself in the picture. David was going to leave and go to a hotel near from here, but Laura stops him and wants to introduce him to Anna, Caleb's sister. She tells him, "I want you to stay with us in the house, so you tell me stories about Caleb, and you can sleep in Caleb's room." David agrees, and Anna enters on them, and Laura introduces her to David, but Anna was not welcoming to David and was not comfortable with him because he is a stranger to her, and she leaves him and goes to her work. Laura takes David to his room that he will sleep in, and from after that, the problems will start. We learn that Caleb had a younger brother named Luke. Luke was a kind and quiet boy, and his classmates were bullying him at school, and he was not having the courage to respond to them. When he left from school, he hides a bruise that is on his face, so his mother does not see it, and indeed his mother does not see it. They move, and in the scene that follows, David was sitting with Luke, and they talk a little about Caleb. David tells him, "Your brother asked me to tell you that he loves you." At the same time, Spencer, Laura's husband, was not liking the presence of a stranger in the house and was worried about him because former soldiers have traumas and psychological problems, and their behavior might not be predictable. But Laura rejects his talk and wants David to stay present because he is connected to Caleb. She tells him, "If Caleb had returned from the army, would you have said the same talk?" So Spencer does not know how to respond to her. Meanwhile, David notices the bruise that is on Luke's face, and Luke lies to him and tells him, "The ball hit in my face during playtime." Spencer enters on them and welcomes David. Laura asks Luke to go study and do his homework. David helps Luke and solve with him the homework. Anna returns from work, and also she does not like David's presence and goes to her room. Spencer stays up with David and tells him about the manager at work and says to him, he does not deserve to be the manager because it was supposed to be me the manager, and unfortunately, the salary that I take is not enough for me. He asks David, "You intending to do what?" David told him, "I probably will leave tomorrow morning and go look for work." Spencer told him, "No, stay sitting with us a few days more." David agrees, and when Spencer gets up, strange expressions appear on David's face. The next day, when Luke leaves from school, he gets surprised that David is the one coming to pick him up and tells him, "I convinced your mother that I'd take you from school today." It turns out that David did not believe Luke when he told him the ball hit in my face. He tells him, "I want you pointing me to the boys who hit you yesterday." So Luke points at him to that gang and tells him, "This gang always bothers me and hits me on the way coming and going." David decides to walk behind them, and Luke was worried about David and not understanding what he is planning exactly. That gang arrives to the bar, and David and Luke enter to the same bar. David tells the bartender, "Serve alcoholic drinks to the girls with them on my account and serve cheap drinks to the boys." The bartender takes the money and leaves. When the bartender serves the drinks to the bullying gang, the boys get upset because Luke served them cheap drinks, and they consider an insult to them. That boy pours a drink on David. David stays silent, then pours his drink on the bully and continues on him and hits him in his face and starts beating the bullies and gives them a proper beating. The girls get scared and leave. One bully hit Luke, so David intervenes and takes revenge on him and picks up Luke, who got injured in his face. David, because he is a former soldier in the army, was able to escape from this fight, and the police did not come arrest him. He tells the bartender, "Do not report to the police what happened." "And what will I tell the police? That you served alcoholic drinks to boys under the legal age?" He leaves money for the damages that happened to place and takes Luke and leaves. When they return to the house, Laura worries about her son because she sees him injured. David calms her and tells her, "I will teach Luke ways to defend himself," so he hits the bullies who bother him. Laura tells him, "I am happy that you were with Luke." Anna was going to a party at her friend's house at night, and Laura made David go with her. They arrive after that to Kristen's house where the party is. Anna tells him, "We will meet at the party. My boyfriend, Zeke, and my father and mother do not know that I am dating a boy, so I want you to keep this matter a secret between us." David promises her that he will not tell anyone. Kristen teases them and lets them enter the party. David blends in with them and participates with them in what they are doing. Kristen was impressed by David and stands with him. Kristen's ex-boyfriend enters on them and wants to talk to her, but Kristen refuses to talk to him, so he wanted to take her by force. But David intervenes and hits him. Kristen got more impressed by David. After that, David sits with a person named Craig, and David asks him about a person he bought weapons from. Craig asks him, "Why you want to buy a weapon?" He told him, "Because I am a former soldier and I must have a weapon with me." So Craig told him, "Prepare the money and I will set you a meeting with a weapons dealer." David notices that Anna and her boyfriend Zeke are fighting. After that, David and Anna leave from the party. David asks her why you fought with Zeke. She tells him, "Because Zeke does not work and has no ambition, and I work, and he is saving my college money." David admires that she works for herself and tells her, "If I was dating a girl like you, I would not have stayed in the army." She gets happy from his words and thanks him and offers to hang out with him. She starts to like David. After that, each one enters their room, and Anna starts spending time with David. Meanwhile, David, while in his room, strange expressions appear on his face again. The next day, Anna hears David talking outside the house from Luke's mobile and hears him talking about strange matters and that there are people might look for him. So Anna suspects him and calls the army and gives him David's information and wants to get more information about him. Customer service tells her, "We will search about David and call you back when we get any details." For the surprise, it turns out that David died a week ago, actually, and died in a military hospital because of fire in the hospital. The one in the Peterson family's house is not the real David. The customer service employee reports this matter to Major Carver. When Major Carver learns, he decides to go to the Peterson family's house himself and will take with him a special team. After that, we see David go and meet Craig and the weapons dealer in a far place. The weapons dealer asks to see the money first. David does not mind and gives him the money. So the weapons dealer shows him the weapons he has, and David likes the weapons very much. Suddenly, he kills the weapons dealer, and Craig runs and wants to escape, but David kills him from a very far distance and takes all the weapons that are there, including 2 grenades. After that, Spencer tells his family that a manager at work got killed in a mysterious way, and the police found him and his wife dead in the house. And so, I will get promoted and take his place at work. Spencer was waiting for this promotion for a long time. Anna learns in the Army's customer service that David died a week ago, and the one living in your house is a fake person. Anna gets shocked and goes to tell this to her mother, but her mother does not believe her. So she decides to prove to them and steals Luke's mobile and takes a picture of the number that David was calling. After that, Zeke calls Anna and tells her that Craig got killed, and the police suspect me. Anna gets surprised by this, and he hangs up with her because the police are chasing him. David tells Luke, "Do not let anyone in the Bullies bother you, and if someone bothers you, take revenge on him severely, even if you go to school with a knife." He gives him a knife to keep with him. Zeke calls Anna while he is detained and tells her, "The police found the weapon that Craig was killed with in my car, and when they searched my room, they found weapons and prohibited materials. So the police arrested me." Anna gets upset about Zeke because she knows he is innocent and goes out to her family, and David, while crying, and tells them that Zeke got arrested. Her father tells her, "Good, he is an addict and a failure." But Anna refuses that her father talks about him like that, and they argue, both of them. Anna decides to expose David in front of them and tells him, "I called the army and they told me that David died, and this is not the real David, and we do not know who this is." But David proves the opposite of her talk and tells her, "Maybe the army is covering for me and does not want to reveal my identity." He shows them army medals with his name on them. Spencer and his family believe David's talk and disbelieve Anna. Anna gets upset with them and goes to her room. David comes to talk to her and tells her, "I know you do not like my presence, so I will stay a few days and leave from here." He takes the time she spent with him and leaves. The next day, Anna takes Luke to school and tells him, "I searched about the number that David called, and it turned out it is a number for a surgeon doctor, and I learned that his medical license was revoked 2 years ago. I want you to help me uncover David's identity. I feel that David is the one who killed Craig." When Luke enters his classroom, he opens a laptop and searches about David's identity. One of Luke's classmates, whom David hit, decides to bully Luke again and sits behind him and bothers him and insults him. Luke does not stay silent and hits him in his face. His classmate responds to him and knocks him down, but Luke does not hold back and breaks a chair on him. They issue a summons for Luke's guardian. Laura and David come, and David praises Luke for acting correctly, but the principal decides to expel Luke from school and tells Laura, "Violence is prohibited in school, and your son is the one who hit first." But David intervenes and says, "The bully is the one who started because he insulted Luke, so Luke defended himself no more. I will not stay silent and will file a lawsuit against the school." The principal gets scared and backs off from the idea of expelling Luke and decides to give him a light punishment, and that he serves his punishment after school and helps with the Halloween party. David agrees to this talk, and Luke gets happy with what David did and decides to trust him. He tells him that Anna suspects him that he is the one who killed Craig and wants to report to the police and wants to know what your relationship is with the surgeon doctor. "I confirm that you are not David, and surely the surgeon doctor performed a plastic surgery on you to look like David, and he agreed because his license was revoked and he needed money. Maybe you are the one who killed my father's boss at work." David gets angry because all of Luke's talk is correct, but Luke calms him and tells him, "I will not tell anyone about this talk because we are friends and I liked you." David laughs and asks him, "Who else knows about this talk?" So Luke tells him, "Maybe Anna talked to Kristen." After a while, Major Carver and his team arrive. Carver meets Laura and shows her a picture of David and asks her about his whereabouts. She tells him, David is inside the house. Suddenly, David appears and opens fire on the special team and kills 2 of them and goes inside the house to hide from the gunfire. David gets injured in his leg, so he ties a cloth around the injury to stop the bleeding. Laura runs from fear and enters the house. The rest of the military team try to storm the house, but David was waiting for them and kills them with great skill and knows how to dodge their gunfire with great intelligence. Laura is at the peak of terror and asks David, "What is happening?" David tells her, "There is no time to explain everything to you." She starts to suspect him and asks him, "Did you really know my son?" David changes with her suddenly and decides to kill her. He drives Laura's car and kills the last soldier present. Carver tried to stop him, but failed. David shoots at the tires of Carver's car and escapes. Carver had to chase him with a car between them. David sees Spencer coming with his car from afar, so David puts on the seatbelt and crashes into him. Because of this collision, Spencer gets severely injured, and David shoots him to make sure he dies and takes his bag with the weapons and continues on his way. Carver arrives after that and meets one of Spencer's neighbors. Carver tells him, "I am from the police, and I need your car." Indeed, Carver takes the car and moves quickly and goes to Anna at work and tells her, "I want you with me in matters related to David." They ride the car together and move. As soon as they leave, David arrives and enters the restaurant and meets Kristen and decides to kill her because she might know about his life. To cover up the witnesses who saw him, he throws 2 grenades in the place to get rid of them all. Carver tells Anna, "We will go take your brother because he is in danger." Anna asks him, "What is happening exactly?" Carver told her David was participating in a military medical experiment, and a study was being done on him because he was an ideal soldier, but the experiment failed, and while he was in a hospital, he killed many people and escaped and burned all the bodies. We thought he died with them. He kills anyone who suspects him because he was designed to defend himself and defend the experiment. At that time, Luke was in school detention and setting up the place of the party. Carver continues and tells Anna, "Your father and mother died." She gets shocked and could not believe herself. Carver calms her and tells her, "I will take you and your brother to a safe place because surely David wants to kill you." After that, they arrive at the school. When they enter, they find the place looks strange because it is prepared for the Halloween party. Anna enters and hugs her brother. David announces his presence and plays music. After that, he cuts the power. Carver asks Luke's teacher about the way out. The teacher tells them, "Come with me and I will get you out." They go to a place full of mirrors and get surprised by the teacher in front of them, and he is killed. Carver orders Anna and Luke to escape. Carver was looking for David to kill him, but David manages to stab him in his hand and finishes him off and says to him, "You should not chase me." Meanwhile, the siblings were escaping but find the door locked with a lock. Anna asks Luke to hide here to stay safe. Luke argues with her and tells her, "David loves us and will not harm us." She shocks him and tells him, "David killed our father and mother." She asks him to hide until she calls the police. Luke listens to her and takes out the knife he got from David to protect himself. David appears and looks for him. Anna makes noises and lures David. It turns out she took Carver's gun and raises it on David and shoots at him without hesitation. But suddenly his body disappears. He comes from behind her and stabs her in her legs. David starts to choke her, but Luke comes from behind him and stabs him twice and saves his sister. David tells him, "Well done. This is the right action you should have done, and I do not blame you." After that, he dies. The police and firefighters come, and Anna and Luke are okay. But the strange thing is that the firefighters say they only found 2 bodies inside. Anna gets surprised when she sees a person wearing firefighter clothes and walking limping, and he turns out to be David, and he managed to survive. Here, we have reached the end of the film.